I'm going to be completely honest. I thought Cursor had peaked. I even canceled my subscription for a month. I thought they were just going to be a UI wrapper for popular coding models such as Opus 4.6, and truthfully would all be paying the Anthropic tax. Because let's face it, Opus has been a really good model. But Cursor surprised everyone. They just launched Composer 2, their own proprietary model. And the numbers are kind of wild. Composer 2 is nearly free compared to everything else. We are talking $0 per million output tokens versus Opus 4.6 still sitting around $30 to $40. And Composer 2 is really fast. It's the fastest model in comparison at over 200 tokens per second, while still costing almost nothing. Opus 4.6 fast is fast too, but by far it's the most expensive option in this chart. And GPT 5.4 sits somewhere in the middle on both axes. But Composer 2 just blows off the assumption that speed and cost are a trade-off. And to be honest, having their own proprietary model makes a lot of sense. They really want to win the AI war. There are players like Opus in the game as well. So it makes a lot of sense that they ship their own model and make it better and cheaper, which is also another reason why Anthropic generously gives out free tokens occasionally, and Cursor now can do the same to stand out, to be different. But here's the thing. These models and these benchmarks are great. However, they mean nothing to me unless you ship features with it. So over the past few hours, I've been testing the two models, Composer 2 as well as Opus 4.6, just to compare to see how they actually perform. And Composer 2 by far is not just cheaper, but also faster. It might actually be a lot better in a lot of cases, especially with the way they write code. If you've used Opus 4.6 for really long tasks, you know the context fog. The model starts off smart, but 20 minutes into refactor, it starts to get dumb. It makes silly mistakes, forgetting your file structure, and so on. Composer 2 feels different here. It's terminal aware, and its real strength is that it doesn't just suggest the code, it actually understands it. It's a really context aware. It understands what's going on in your terminal as well as your code base. And the litmus has always been my own website. I gave Composer 2 and Opus 4.6 the same coding task: upgrade my website. Now this might sound simple, but it's really not, because my website has been a graveyard of old tools with outdated versions that I have been really scared to touch. I'm still on the Next.js pages router on a really old version. No TypeScript. I'm still using the older version of Tailwind CSS, had the Tailwind config file, a bunch of mini projects living inside it, and a ton of markdown files that I've been storing a lot of different content in. And it's been a playground for me for months, and I've been too scared to upgrade. Even though both models did reasonably well, Opus 4.6 somehow thought that we were still on Next.js 15, whereas Composer 2 was really able to easily pick up the latest version of Next.js, which is 16.2 that recently just came out. Opus 4.6 was still stuck in the pages router. Like I said, it had the pages router as well as the app router in the same project, and Opus 4.6 wasn't able to truly get it. I had to really guide it to really make sure that it uses the app router instead. Composer 2, not really. It really got it. And overall, Composer 2 has been able to upgrade my project successfully, the way it created a plan as well as overall created a good structure. Opus 4.6 also did a good job. However, now I have to still upgrade some older versions and made a few mistakes while upgrading TypeScript and so on. And honestly, I felt like Composer 2 was slightly better in this case. However, I haven't been able to try out on a lot of different projects, but this has been really good so far. Now, Cursor also released some research that runs through 3 major tests. The first one is Terminal Bench 2.0. This is the agent test. It gives the AI a broken repo and a terminal and say fix it. Composer 2 hit a 61.7, beating Opus 4.6 base score of 58. Second, SWE Bench multilingual. This is the industry standard for fixing real GitHub bugs. Composer 2 hit 73.7%, while Opus is still technically smarter here at 77.8%. You just have to ask yourself, is a 4% difference worth paying 10 times the price? Because Composer 2 is definitely cheaper. And the third one is Cursor Bench. This is really an internal test of how the model performs inside the editor. Composer 2 scored 61.3, actually beating Opus's 58.2. For the first time, the in-house model is officially the better choice for the IDE, which is really freaking cool. So here's my verdict. It's 10 times cheaper, it's faster, and the context fog is gone. So look, I'm done paying the Anthropic tax for my daily shipping. Opus is still a great PhD brain for complex algorithms. For the actual act of refactoring legacy code bases or shipping features, Composer 2 has become the new baseline. Now, I'm going to experiment with Composer 2 further and build more complex features, and I'll keep you posted on how that goes. So go download that update and try it out on a project you're really terrified to touch, or ship some features and see if you see any specific difference. But again, just for the price and the speed, Composer 2 is clearly the winner. What do you think of Composer 2? Any Anthropic, any Claude Opus fans, please comment below and let me know what you think of this model and where you think Opus might still shine. As next steps, if you're learning more about open source models, open models in general, then definitely check out this video on GLM5, which is a really cool open model, or this video where I basically say to stop paying Anthropic more money and how you could run Claude code locally with an open model. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.